Welcome to Orange Nation Sports. I'm Max Gross.
And I'm Lucas Messina.
The weather is changing, leaves are falling, and that can only mean one thing. Fall sports season is in full swing.
You're absolutely right, Max. And with fall comes the beloved sport of football. Not only is the OSU season hitting its stride, so is intramural flag football. 7-on-7 is in the thick of the postseason right now, with several teams looking to compete in Boone Pickens Stadium for the championship. Carson Colvin and Kevin Green take a look at intramural flag football.
It's that time of year when you can hear flags being pulled and whistles being blown. That's right, flag football time of year. But the whistles you're hearing might be for different reasons, depending on the league you're watching. Well, the Co-Rec League has many different teams trying to employ different strategies. We'll see how that plays out heading into the playoffs.
There's definitely a more laid-back atmosphere when the women are in there. It's definitely competitive still, though. I'd say that guys aren't as aggressive, and that's probably the main difference. Is they definitely watch out for the girls' safety more so than when they're just playing with guys.
I think one of the advantages that we have is sometimes the guys will guard the guys more, and then we'll be open. And so that's like an advantage we have. But if a guy's guarding us, he doesn't go any easier.
When watching a Co-Rec flag football game, you may notice some men passing up scoring a touchdown, electing to pitch the ball back to a woman. For female, touchdowns count more points than a man's. When the woman throws a touchdown pass or runs the ball across the goal line, 9 points are rewarded. Women also don't have any restrictions. They can run or catch the ball anywhere on the field while a man can't. Men can't carry the ball past the line of scrimmage unless they catch a legal forward pass. Then they may legally advance the ball. However, that can't be done on consecutive plays either.
That's definitely part of the strategy, is if a team has good girls that can catch the ball, then they usually win for the most part.
They put girls in just for like short lob passes, or if like a guy's going to go in and run for a touchdown, then they'll put her in and she'll throw it to him. But sometimes it alternates. It just kind of depends on the play.
Knowing when these restrictions are in effect can be tricky, but luckily for the players, they don't have to keep track. An official will announce the down, whether the play is open or closed, before every down. Play calling depends on whether the play is open or closed, dictating who the quarterback can throw to. Though tricky, these rules affect gameplay.
There's definitely strategy involved. Usually if a girl has to be involved, they'll have a quarterback that's a girl and they'll try and throw it to a guy.
Teams hope to use these rules to their advantages. With playoffs winding up, good strategy will have to be a priority for these teams to advance. For Orange Nation Sports, I'm Carson Colvin.
That looked like a lot of fun. Especially with co-ed action, it's always a unique challenge when men and women take the field.
To give us a little more insight on intramurals here at OSU, let's send it to Thomas Chapman, who sits down with Assistant Director of Rec Programs, Jason Linsenmeyer.
Oklahoma State features 52 intramural sports. Every student participating pays a fee with their tuition. The big question is, where are those fees going? I sat down with Assistant Director of Recreational Programs, Jason Linsenmeyer, to find out.
We get a allocation from the Student Government Association, SGA. It doesn't subsidize all of our intramural budget. We get some from forfeits, and then we also get some from the Maine Department of Wellness account. The majority of our budget is probably 85 to 90% goes to student payroll. The other portion of the money goes for equipment, goes for events like bowling and golf and or bubble soccer, things like that. So we do charge a small fee for those, but the fee that we charge doesn't cover the entirety of that. But we have a good sized budget and we can do a lot.
I'm Thomas Chapman. I'm here with Cameron Milam. He's a graduate assistant with the intramural sports, and we're going to learn a little bit more about the fees with the intramurals here at Oklahoma State. Cameron, if you could tell me a little bit about the fees here at Oklahoma State and whether they're fair or not to the students.
Yeah, I think that the fees here are they're very fair for the students because they do offer it for the intramurals to be free for all the major team sports and small participation sports that are held here on campus. Whereas most universities, the intramural fees are separate to sign up your teams. I know specifically at schools that I have visited, intramural fees are anywhere from $40 to $55 for major team sports such as flag football and basketball, whereas here they're free. So by paying these fees and offering free intramurals, it definitely boosts our participation statistics. What is quite surprising is that for our student population size, we are one of the top intramural participation schools in the nation. rivaled around Ohio State as well. Ohio State is usually the top school, and we're quite often pretty close to them as well.
Tell me a little bit about the outside sports that we're doing here at Oklahoma State, like bowling and bubble soccer and those kind of things that you do have to pay for.
So there are a few that we have to pay for only whenever we contract from an outside source. So sports such as the golf tournaments, bubble soccer, laser tag, and bowling, because we do use an outside venue or bring in an outside contractor, we have to charge roughly, it's usually about $15 per person, just to kind of compensate for the costs that we'll be paying to bring that outside source in. Still not a lot for the students that want to participate in those sports, but it does help us even out in our budget from an intramural standpoint.
Right. And what do you think would happen if we did start charging for sports like flag football and those regular intramurals lots of people participate in?
That's been talked about from the higher ups in the wellness department, as far as charging even a small amount, $10 or $20 for major sports or smaller sports. From what I've experienced, I don't think that it would deter many people from signing up for flag football. For instance, if you charge $20 per team, that's maybe $2, $3 a person to play flag football, since it's roughly 7 to 10 people on a team. So I don't think that would deter very many people, and it would also allow us to bring in some revenue to then make intramurals better. It would increase our officials' pay a little bit, so you could theoretically have better officials. I know that's one of the biggest complaints sometimes, but it would allow us to put that money right back in the program to make it better.
So, Lucas, how is your intramural team doing this season? Are you still in the playoffs?
We're on the same team. We have a game tomorrow.
Oh.
Homecoming festivities have begun, which means Football Frenzy wrapped up this past weekend. To help show you what it's all about, Cameron Moist and Cameron Osborne followed this year's event. Let's check it out.
Football Frenzy was in full swing this weekend, and we got to go down on the field and grab some of the action.
OSU's Greek Life held its annual Football Frenzy tournament over the weekend, and the crowds came out in droves to support their houses. The 3-day double elimination tournament pits pairings of fraternities and sororities against each other and kicks off homecoming week at OSU. The winner receives spirit points and, of course, bragging rights over the 24 other houses that participated in the Football Frenzy. Farmhouse and Kappa Delta, one of the favorites coming into Football Frenzy, shockingly fell behind 27-0 in its first game against SAE Kappa. They would rally and go on an unthinkable 33-0 run to win. Pike and Alpha Chi, who had a first-round bye, marched into a semifinal matchup with Farmhouse Kappa Delta. In the semifinal game, Farmhouse Kappa Delta blew Pike and Alpha Chi out 25-0, earning a spot in the championship game. Little did they know that it would be a rematch with Pike Alpha Chi for the Football Frenzy Championship at Boone Pickens Stadium. Pike Alpha Chi jumped out to an early 10-0 lead after this acrobatic touchdown catch. Farmhouse Kappa Delta showed their will to win that was on display throughout the weekend by going on a 26-0 run to win the tournament. After the game, we caught up with a couple of the stars for Farmhouse Kappa Delta with some questions about Football Frenzy.
How big of a deal is it to win? Because y'all just won. So how much pride do you take in that?
I know that it was definitely a trying route. We had a lot of close games, and so just to be able to come through and just really keep playing, keep persevering every game we had, and to finally come out here on the big field and just come out and go down one touchdown and then come out and perform. It's just super exciting, and it's just an awesome experience to hang out with the team that we get to put together, and it's just a blast.
Question: what does it mean to the Greek organizations to have this Football Frenzy? Like, what does it?
I think it means a lot. It brings a lot of camaraderie and competition into the Greek community, and that's just what we're built off of. We build a lot of fans, and we bring a lot of alumni in because of what we do here for homecoming. And Football Frenzy just kicks that whole week off, and it gets the whole process swinging, and it brings fans out from the beginning.
Okay, how did it feel to win in front of all these people?
It felt amazing. I've been playing Football Frenzy since my freshman year, and to finally be able to play on Boone Pickens Stadium and to win this tournament meant a lot to me.
And after Farmhouse big win on Football Frenzy here at Boone Pickens Stadium, that only means one thing: America's greatest homecoming can begin. For Orange Nation Sports, I'm Cameron Moist.
Intramurals are one great way to stay in shape and feel like your old self again, but for some students it's a great way to show off some of their skills. Our own Matt McGann talked to two former NCAA athletes who are spending their spare time in intramurals.
Some do it for fun, some do it for the game. After playing 4 years of college football, James Wampa is now a graduate student at OSU. Wampa reflects fondly on his time at Austin College, a Division III school in Sherman, Texas.
The very last game I played was against our arch rivals, who we hadn't beaten since I was like 1. So we beat them 35-7, and my last carry was a touchdown. So that's probably something that I'll remember forever.
The homecoming game his senior year against Hendrix College, Wampa rushed for 202 yards.
I had a couple 100-yard games, and that was homecoming, 202 yards, which I really didn't even know I had that much. Like, I knew I was doing a pretty good job, but then somebody, I think, mentioned me in a tweet or something after the game, and it was like, James Wampa with 202, and I was like, what?
Wampa now finds himself honing his competitive spirit in his first year playing flag football for the Speed Demons, a men's B-League team.
Probably the first game playing on my men's team. I got out there in the first 3 plays, I think, on our offensive drives. Not like 3 plays on one drive, like 1 drive, touchdown, 2nd drive, touchdown, 3rd drive, touchdown. Defensively, I don't think we let them score either, so that was just cool to kind of sit back, relax, and just do whatever you want because you knew you were just kind of imposing your will and making sure the other team knew it.
One of the biggest differences, Wampa notes, is the level of talent.
Because, I mean, you're not going to have a lot of people like me who have played in college, so it's really not like a huge talent pool.
Wampa also needed to adjust his aggressive style that led to his success as a football player.
I mean, I don't really do it. I kind of get flagged for it, and so I'm just running in trying to make a play, and then I can't think on my feet fast enough to be like, oh, I gotta get these flags, instead of just like wrap the guy up or just run through the guy. So yeah, I would say for the majority of college athletes, it's you do have to find yourself easing off a little bit.
Wampa and the Speed Demons lost in the round of 16 in the men's B-League playoffs. However, it's not the end for teammate Ronnie Richardson, who looks to continue his collegiate career by using intramurals to stay in game shape. A linebacker by trade, Richardson can't dish out punishing hits on the Colvin field, but he can showcase his athleticism and speed. Although the competition level isn't the same, Richardson's drive and work ethic is exactly the same whether he's wearing pads or flags. For Orange Nation Sports, I'm Matt McGann.
That was really interesting to see that former athletes, or in Ronnie's case, hopeful athletes, using the intramural system to their advantage. Lucas, what are your thoughts on college athletes in the intramural system?
Well, I think it's a great way for those players to keep playing the games that they love competitively. One program here at OSU isn't all fun and games. The Oklahoma State cheerleaders are some of the most known faces at football games. But what you don't know about them is that there are 2 club teams that helped prep those same girls on the sideline.
Reporters Megan Bordeo and Jordan Bland take a look at the OSU all-girl and small co-ed cheer teams.
At Oklahoma State would not be the same without the help of one team on the sidelines, the OSU Large Co-ed Cheer Squad. These reigning national champions are the heart of the Cowboy spirit. Looks can be deceiving, as the Oklahoma State cheer program isn't just what you see on the sidelines. OSU has 2 other teams, small co-ed and all-girl.
Obviously, the all-girl team is 20 females is on the all-girl team. And then a small co-ed team composed of 16 females up to 4 guys. So you always have those 20 people.
Those teams compete at nationals every year in Daytona and prep their skills all year long. These skills include cheer, dance, tumbling, and of course stunting. Although the large co-ed expenses are paid for, the cheer program does not have scholarships.
Really, it's kind of interesting because there are some schools in cheerleading that have scholarships. And some big schools that win, they obviously get good people because they have scholarships. At OSU, we don't have any scholarships for cheer. We're just like the average student that puts in, for student loans and gets all of that stuff. And so really when people are coming, that's often a hurdle that I have to overcome.
Because there is not scholarships, there is no official recruiting. But the Oklahoma State name is enough for hundreds of girls to try out for the 3 teams every year.
What's different with OSU is we recruit, but in a different sense since we don't have scholarships. So you recruit based off of talent and what you can offer about the actual program rather than what kind of money you can offer. So
But talent and opportunities aren't all that they have to offer. Cheerleader Kyle Nolan knows his support system lies within the gym walls.
Like today, you guys kind of saw a little bit of it. Whenever we were just going through our routine and stuff, just everyone there together, like everyone wants the best for everyone. And just like they called it mat talk. Whenever we're like sitting there, like, come on, you got this. Like you land a pass and everyone goes crazy. Just kind of that family environment.
For Orange Nation News, I'm Jordan Bland.
So Max, what do you think about that cheer squad?
Well, I thought it was really interesting to see the hard work and dedication they had towards their craft.
Well, that's all we have for you this time. I'm Lucas Messina.
And I'm Max Gross. Thanks for watching Orange Nation Sports.